for listening this short video. My name is Nicholas Rindenech. I'm a church planter and a pastor in the Greater Paris on the east side. A new church in Torcy started really from nothing. Sometimes some believe that the church started with me. Well, actually no, it started with God. It started in my office when I was pastoring the Champ Church, and I had the impression as I was seeking God that God was telling me, Nicholas, you are not going to stay here all your life. I have something else for you. And I said, what, Lord? And, well, church planting. Because with church planting, more people come to Christ than pastoring in an existing church. We started from nothing with the first prayer meeting. We were exactly a lot of people. The whole church didn't come. We were 4. In between, we have seen more than 20 conversions. We are more than 80 at the church service. And I won't repeat myself nor bother you, just listen to the other video. But really, frankly, to God be the glory. It's obvious that we have a winning formula. Listening to God, the gospel, and 2 discipleship tracks. 12 people have joined us since 1.5 months. This is why we need more space to welcome the unbelievers and the newcomers, the unchurched, so they will listen to the gospel and come to a saving relationship with the Lord. What I didn't tell you in my last video and my letters. What I didn't tell you is all the negatives. You know, something that is very French and very Western Europe is to be negative. Well, let's be positive about the negative things. Hey, maybe you are on the other side of the ocean and you support us since a long time, or you don't support us, but you wonder, what is it like to be a French pastor, pastoring a small church in a small room? What is it like? So I would like to give you a tour with you, if you agree with me. Come with me, I make you a visit just for you. It won't last long. Our church is very, very small. So I take my iPhone with me, have a look together, and so we'll come back. I'm in the worship room. This is the worship room behind me, and you don't see a lot of space. And then let's go together in the nursery. So you can see the nursery right here. So this is the nursery. And well, in the nursery, actually, you have 2 seats here and lots of toys. And if I turn myself around, you can see the glasses. So the nursery is giving into the worship room. So we love babies, they make noise, but you can listen the preaching as you are in the nursery. So actually, I have nothing to complain about that room. That would be perfect. Then on the other side, if I'm coming back in the entry, so in our worship room, we have 2 entries. One entry here behind my back, where actually the newcomers are coming, and the other entry where the long-term or mid-term comers are coming. But just behind me, if you see, that is the place where most of the time the youth group is having its youth group. So they are not complaining. They are nice and gentle guys and ladies, girls. But you see, every time that they have the youth group in the worship room, they don't have the place on their own. And they should be having that. They should be having a place with games, sofas, a cool place for them, so they can have fun and they can identify that for them. Now, if you follow me, I'm going into that room. That room is the children's room, where we teach the children on Sunday during the preaching. As you can see, it's a room that is very long, so it's not very optimum. And main point, it is not their room. So they put things on the wall and that's fine, but it's also the room for the 2 small groups on Saturday, morning and afternoon. It's also the room for the church board. And if I turn myself, you'll see, the kitchen. Well, actually, it's not a kitchen. It's a kitchenette, as we say in French. So what that means is that during the preaching, a lot of time people come in and out that room, so they are not by their own. Here again, they should have their own room. Actually, we should have 2 rooms for the children with, again, games, their own decoration on the walls, funny stuff, funny things to do. They are all the time disturbed during the preaching, during the lessons on Sunday, and that's not optimal. Now, second, other thing that is really not optimal, that is the kitchen here. So think about heating up the food on Sunday when we eat once a month all together. It takes a while because we have only one microwave. But think about that. Last summer, Priscille, my wife, with Tori and Nanette, 2 good friends of us, cooked for 60 people from home. And I said to the church, guys, I know nobody who would have done that. It was way complex for 10 days to cook for 60 people without the kitchen in our home and bringing the food here. So Priscille did it. She's the nicest lady I know. Very precious, very courageous. She did it. But frankly, we really need a true kitchen so that we may eat correctly and so that we may have a big gathering in the church. So, and that is a major issue. Now, you have seen all the church. These are about maybe 1,400 square feet. We need about 2,800 square feet. If you notice well, there is one room that is missing. That is my office. And so forget about your dream of working home. You believe a lot of lies, probably. Working home is not that nice, and that's fine. Working home means that there is no limit and no barrier between your private life, your family life, and the church. That means that you worry and you work about the church and you worry about the church. So sometimes, I must confess, I'm depressed a little bit. So if you want to pray for me, you know what you can pray for me. But that means also I can have no pastoral interview, no pastoral visit, no pastoral conversation at home. Everything must be here. And when the pastor is not at church, it gives a different mindset to the church. When the pastor is at the church building, it gives to the people that the pastor is available, they can come at any time. But so I really need an office space where I can gather people. And then you can see here the table where there is the video projector. That is the table where we have what we call the collation. So that's kind of the coffee break coffee that we offer to the people after the church service. So that place also is not optimum. If you look, most of the time I put about 50 chairs. Here you have a little bit less than 50 chairs, but we have at every time so many people that after the service we should pile up the chairs back on the side so that we have enough space and enough place to talk together and to connect. What we would be really in need of is a coffee bar way bigger than that, with at least, I would say, 50% of the chairs in small seats or sofas or things like that, so that people can talk, can relax, can be together and be connected. So, coming back to my place, you can see, I mean, we are very thankful to have that room. So we need a bigger space to welcome the unbelievers so that he can hear the gospel. So for our children, for our youth group, we should have their own room. For Priscille, who is not God and cannot do the impossible. For me, who need correct working condition, and to welcome the unbelievers and preach the gospel, we need a space of 2,800 square feet. That is about $390,000. For this to happen, we need friends, brothers and sisters, churches who will rise up and be realistic and will say, this construction will have a cost. This will require sacrifice, time, efforts, energy until everything will be done. This is what I'm saying. I'm ready to invest my life into this church. I made a big check myself. We're not a perfect church, but God is blessing us. This is not a project we can do by our own. Like rebuilding Jerusalem, this is a team challenge. We cannot face it by yourself. On $100,000, we have raised already $30,000, well, $29,000 exactly. Would you make a generous gift? That can be $20, $50, $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million. That's fine. The bigger the better, but we all know that big challenges are possible only also with lots of small gifts. And this is the way God works. God works with ordinary people who are believing in Him, and He's making extraordinary things through these ordinary people because He's an extraordinary God. And so that's the same. If you could help, we need your help. You can find more info on église-de-torcy.fr. You would have a more complete letter and file there. You can give online on PayPal, and you can also give online through the World Venture website. Just go there and or write to me on nicholasonmission@gmail.com. Hey, thanks for listening. We are blessed to have you. We are blessed to have a blessing God. He is not stopping to bless us, and He will not. He's also a faithful God. All these steps, all these construction projects, I've went through it already, about 20 years ago. So it's God can make it. Actually, God made it for the Champ Church. They have a nice building. 4 churches are gathering every Sunday there. So we are looking forward to see what God is going to do. Since 6 weeks, every week we have new people. So this is great and this is encouraging. May God bless you and see you soon. Bye-bye.